With just 4 races left until the winter break, the Formula One rumour mill is in full swing this weekend. Some of the drivers may be battling for their very F1 careers, while others may be hoping to advance. So what rumours are circulating around a paddock? We've done some digging. The Formula One driver market, sometimes known as the silly season, has been absolutely wild this year. Not only because of the huge number of shifts, but also because it has been so extremely unexpected. Silly season is one of the defining characteristics of the Formula One schedule, with the yearly musical chairs of the drivers filling seats, putting some without a drive and allowing others to move up or down the grid. All of the leading teams in the Constructors Championship, such as Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, as well as McLaren, Alpine, Aston Martin, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo, have finalized their driving lineups moving into the upcoming season. As of now, just 2 positions are open, Haas and Williams. Nonetheless, the level of anarchy has created the silly season of 23 the craziest in history. Number 1. Red Bull. Red Bull isn't changing anything about their technique after another successful year that saw Verstappen win his second F1 Drivers' Championship. The team has signed both Verstappen and Sergio Perez for the upcoming season, which might be a breakthrough year for the legendary livery. After signing an agreement with Red Bull in March, Verstappen is expected to remain with the team until the 2028 season. At that point, he will be making about $55 million per year. In other words, at age 25, the young gun has achieved the same level of success as Mercedes veteran Lewis Hamilton. At the end of his agreement, Verstappen will be 30 years old, which is far from the end of the line, so if he continues to win, he may be able to get a second contract. On the other hand, the Mexican driver Sergio Perez extended his contract with him in May, just 2 days after he won in Monaco, and will remain at his side until at least 2024. Number 2. Mercedes. The 7-time world champion Lewis Hamilton's chances of winning the dominance fight dropped this year due to his inability to regain his previous level of performance. For 2022, Mercedes included George Russell as a driver, but the two often crossed wires on a number of occasions, only finding their rhythm late into the season. Although Hamilton's contract will finish at the completion of the current season, as well as Russell has signed on for the long haul and will be driving for the team in 2023. Number 3. McLaren. McLaren will be debuting a whole new appearance for the 2023 Formula One season, which is sure to be the subject of much debate due to the company's recent driver change. Lando Norris, the young star, will be joined by Oscar Piastri, the F2 and F3 winner, after the Australian won his long-running battle with Alpine. But don't expect things to work out right away. While fans are intrigued on both Norris and Piastri, they should keep their expectations in check. However, Norris, now 3 years into a spectacular F1 career, extended his contract with McLaren until 2025 after a career-best year, while Piastri is under contract on an as-yet unconfirmed multi-year agreement. The deal came about when 2022 driver Daniel Ricciardo acknowledged his acrimonious separation with McLaren, which resulted in the Papaya livery paying out a substantial fee to cancel his contract. After a heated dispute with Alpine that reached F1's contract recognition board, Piastri was able to take over driving duties after Ricciardo's exit. To be sure, McLaren is putting its faith in the next generation by giving control of the company to 2 young adults, aged 22 and 21. Number 4. Ferrari. Ferrari is ready for a successful 2023 season after a strong start to the season that waned in the middle before sparking late. Just like Red Bull, the Formula One team isn't making many changes to the formula for the foreseeable future. Instead, Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz will be behind the wheel for the foreseeable future. Leclerc signed a 5-year deal at the end of 2019, while Sainz signed a new contract earlier this year that will keep him in red until at least 2024. This combination looks to be a good one for Ferrari. In the previous 2 seasons, Leclerc has shown flashes of brilliance, sprinkled with a few careless errors. Nevertheless, in 2023, the star is anticipated to take a significant step forward. While Sainz had some difficulty handling the 2022 model year's F1 75 production car, the improvements will be worth the learning curve. I know it's too early to determine, but I think 2023 will be a huge year for Ferrari. Number 5. Williams. In 2023, one of the biggest mysteries is who will be Alex Albon's teammate at Williams. The driver was signed to a multi-year contract, although existing teammate Nicholas Latifi was culled from the team lineup at the end of the 2022 season, after 3 years of leading the team. It may have been the worst-kept secret in Formula One history, but fans have long suspected that Williams were looking for a new driver. Number 6. Alpine. Alpine's 2023 Formula One roster isn't too awful after the team made some changes after declaring its intention to hire Oscar Piastri publicly and then failing to do so. And now, Esteban Ocon's 3-year contract has been extended, and Pierre Gasly has been confirmed to take the seat that Piastri turned down. Even without the drama surrounding Piastri, it wasn't simple for Alpine to get an all-French cast. The team decided to go for Gasly, who had just renewed his contract with AlphaTauri until 2023, but was willing to leave if the team could find a replacement driver. Fortunately for Gasly and Alpine, AlphaTauri picked up Nick de Vries, which allowed the Frenchman to take over driving duties for the team. Number 7. Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo was a pleasant surprise for 2022, turning heads and reviving Valtteri Bottas' career. The Finnish driver's decision to leave Mercedes seems to have been a wise one, as his 3-year contract is already paying off. In addition to Bottas, Alfa Romeo has decided to keep with youngster Zhou Guanyu, who had been signed for only 1 season before. Now the Chinese foreigner had a strong 2022, finishing in the top 10 in his rookie season, and was therefore awarded a new contract for the next 2023 campaign. Number 8. Aston Martin. The announcement that Sebastian Vettel would be retiring left Aston Martin without a star driver for the 2023 season, but that didn't last for very long. In a shocking revelation, Fernando Alonso stated he would be leaving Alpine to replace Sebastian Vettel, bringing a plethora of championship experience with him. The 2-time champion revealed a multi-year agreement that would keep him in green far into his 40s, thereby ending speculation that Aston's backup driver, Nico Hülkenberg, would be promoted. In addition, the current driver, Lance Stroll, is also contracted for the 2023 campaign. Number 9. Haas. What began as a flop turned out to be a reasonably profitable venture for Haas. The club made a dramatic start to the 2022 season by cutting ties with Nikita Mazepin and signing Kevin Magnussen to a multi-year contract to return to F1. Although the aim was to create a lasting collaboration between Magnussen and Mick Schumacher, early in 2022, Magnussen dramatically outpaced his teammate, leaving Haas executives at a crossroads. While Schumacher recovered towards the latter half of 2022, his future at Haas remains unclear. It has been speculated for some time that the German would join Williams, opening the way for a number of candidates to his place at Haas. However, Nico Hülkenberg, the reserve driver for Aston Martin, might emerge as a prospective replacement for Schumacher, while Daniel Ricciardo, who is presently without a team, is drawing close on a return to Formula One. Despite the lack of confirmation, at this point it looks quite probable that Schumacher will be leaving Haas. Number 10. AlphaTauri. It seemed like a done deal when AlphaTauri signed Pierre Gasly for the 2023 season, but Gasly had other plans. Gasly was called by Alpine after Oscar Piastri's departure, and he considered his options before ultimately convincing AlphaTauri to re-evaluate the contract. In order to solve the problem, the team collaborated with the Formula E champion Nick de Vries, who filled in admirably for Williams' Alex Albon at Monza. The Dutchman will now join Yuki Tsunoda, who recently signed a 1-year extension after the Italian Grand Prix. However, Toto Wolff, the head of Mercedes, voiced his worries about the impact of Piastri's transfer to McLaren on Formula One. "We invest human resources that go to the go-kart tracks, to the junior formulas, and in some cases it's a little money, some cases it's more. To now know that a precedent has been set that if you're clever, you can maneuver yourself out is something that's clearly not good for the industry. Therefore, some would agree with Toto that drivers should be loyal to the corporations who have aided them throughout their careers, but the fact that drivers have looked elsewhere and done better for themselves is precisely what has made this crazy season so interesting and unexpected." So, what do you think? Should drivers only stick in their junior teams or not? Let us know in the comments.